it's Jennifer here from Belladonna's Botanicals, and tonight I want to talk about a couple different things, but the first being what I want to talk about, and this is mostly for people who don't understand, don't necessarily understand channeling. So this video is for people who have questions and want to understand more about channeling. And also this can go into some things that you may hear coming from people who are skeptical about it. So what I want to talk about here is, for me, it's different for everyone, but how I can tell the difference when I'm channeling something. So the first part of it is being able to distinguish what your internal thought processes are like. I know how my brain works or doesn't work at times. So I know how my thought process works. I know the way I think about things. And sometimes for me, being neurodivergent, it can be multiple layers of things at the same time. So with that, some people, and not everyone has this, and I had no idea, but not everyone has an internal monologue. I've got multiple narrators up here. Some of them even have different accents. But they're all me. In the way that, I have a very active brain that does not shut up. I wish it would sometimes, but it doesn't. So I am able to discern that my thought process is how my brain thinks, how my internal monologue narrates the world around me. I am able to differentiate that as those things belong to me. Those are mine. Those are my thoughts. That's how I would speak as I am speaking to you right now, with the same inflection or the dramatic tone in my voice and stuff like that. So I understand that, and that's something I know. So being able to pick out when something comes in that's not of that is going to be key. So, the reason I want to make this, I know I've talked about this a little bit before here and there, but I do have a lot of videos that are channeled messages, and they get a lot of views. So I just wanted to talk about this a little more. So this is how I understand how I think, and also how I talk to myself. It's just one of those wacky things. So anytime, I'll just be like, human, what are you doing? Because for whatever reason, I refer to myself as human. I'm like, human, what are you doing here? So that's it. You've got your inner voice, your internal monologue, how you think, anything of that. Those are the things you can define as being of you. That is their source. Now, when I am intentionally channeling, as if I am right now going to sit here and channel Lilith through me. So I will know that when I am connecting with that spirit, that I am opening myself up to receive messages and communications as such. The same thing applies to when I'm working with my higher self. So now the higher self for me is going to be sort of a bridge in between what is my internal thought process, monologue, and all that. It's above and beyond that. It's seeing the things that you might not see in the conscious space that you're in. So when I am working with my higher self, looking for guidance on things, it is like the massive database version of yourself that hasn't forgotten anything and makes all the weird, wacky connections. And I think I've had a greater access to my higher self since I've opened up my neuroplasticity through microdosing psilocybin and ketamine. I'm not endorsing this. I do use these for medical, reasons, for treatment-resistant depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, autism spectrum, ADHD, anxiety, you name it. So I use it to work things, but there is a spiritual component to these medicines. So take that as you will. I know when I'm communicating with my spirit guides or my ancestors or deities in an intentional manner. That it is, I am looking to connect with one of my guides, or I'm looking to connect with sort of like the collective universe as a whole, and or Lilith, Lucifer, anyone. Sometimes things, and here's, this is the thing that is challenging to discern the who, what, when, where, why of, is when you're just sitting here doing something and something just comes directly through you. It's and I know now, I know through this process, I rule out, is this something I'm thinking? Is this my inner voice or internal monologue? What is this? This is not mine. I can recognize it as not mine because it does not speak in the way that I speak. It does not use words in the way that I do. And it's giving me a message, whether it's something big picture or something very specific to me. Usually channeled stuff for me tends to be a little more big picture, sort of general information or thoughts, or sometimes, if it's something in a prophecy kind of setting, in that way. I realize, and I'm talking about this channeling because this is something I've been doing for over 30 years now. I just didn't always know I was doing it. It took me a long time to discern where all this was coming from. I can look back to journals and things I wrote in high school over 30 years ago. I'm like, that's not me writing this. Because I am writing in a way that a 15-year-old would not be able to write, saying things that I would not know how to express myself, knowing things that I would not have known at 15 years old. And especially things when I look back now with the knowledge and life experience that I have, looking back and going, oh crap, that was Abaddon, that was Lucifer, this is very Lilith. Like, these things were coming through me for decades at this point. And while I have my struggles with mental health, it is usually a reactionary or situational issue. I am not delusional. I know what's going on. There's not, a bunch of aliens flying around my living room that I know of. There are 2 cats though. And I'm not entirely sure cats aren't aliens. So there's that. But I've been doing this for a very long time, and it's taken me those decades to really understand and discern what's going on. So when something like pushes through, it's usually an urgent message, and I will just zone out. So today, this will be in a follow-up video. I just want to make an introductory video to talk about channeling in general, because I think it's something that not everyone understands, and there's a lot of eye rolling, new age channeling. Yeah, they just say my guides told me to tell you, and I've got a message from the universe, kind of thing. And, in any circumstance, there's bullshit. There's always going to be bullshit. There's always going to be people talking out their ass or thinking that Archangel Michael is talking to them and they're their special little buddy and stuff like that. And that, you'll have that in anything. So how do I know? Do I know 100% sure that it's Lilith, whatever, or whomever coming through? Yes and no. As I've worked with these spirits now for many years, that I've been able to understand and connect with the energy signature. So when something is speaking through me, I know that it's not of me, but usually I can figure out what or whom it is, or sometimes, depending on the circumstance or situation, it's almost like a collective voice that comes through. I would sometimes just be like, the voice of the universe, or the collective. It would be like, this is a message from the dark goddesses, or something like that. So sometimes they speak as one, because we are dealing with, at times, archetypes, deific masks, god forms. Sometimes your own stuff gets in the way sometimes, and you have to weed that out. Because I'll look back at what I channel, because I usually do try to either make an audio recording or write things down, and really need a scribe or transcriptionist or something to just follow me around with my random shit. So for instance, I'll give you an example of this today. Normal Friday and what am I doing? I had just, started my day, did my usual thing, wake up, take a bath. I have a lot of chronic pain, so I always joke I have to thaw myself out from sleeping because I wake up very like tight and stiff and whatnot. That sounded pervy, but anyways, moving along. And I'm just, run of the mill packing my orders. And I have stuff on in the background all the time. Whether it's music or I'm listening to audiobooks or podcasts or random YouTube stuff. And I happen to have a video on in the background. Actually, it was from Morg's channel. It was something about Lilith. I don't remember. I don't remember it because suddenly, as I'm packing someone's order up, the Lilith, that voice and I work with Lilith a lot. She's my matron, Lucifer's my patron, so like I recognize them more so. And it was like, okay, we've got to go. Like, and I just turned around because as all the stuff starts coming through, I'm like, you know what? I need to write this down. And so I sat at my computer and just opened up Notepad, I think, and started just writing down everything. And I'd be like, okay, I need to get back up and, I need to finish packing orders, Lilith. I got to get my work done today. And, this went on until I finished all of my orders and then came back. And if you watched my video on Lilith and I think it's Lilith Marbus and the spiritual sleep, it was that out of nowhere, I had this, like someone threw a lead blanket over me and, chloroformed me or something. I needed to sleep or just, so I'm like, all right, well, I'm just going to kind of, rest a little bit now that I'm home, and laid down on the sofa and the floodgates opened again. And, I got some scribbly messages in addition to what I'd already typed up at my computer. So, I don't know that it's entirely done. I don't know if she's going to have more. I feel like it. And what was interesting about it is one of my subscribers or viewers had commented on my last video about asking me something about Lilith coming through or whatever. And I'm like, funny you should say that. Funny you should ask right at this moment, because yeah, Lilith is coming through right now pretty freaking strong. She's like, yeah, I had a feeling. I'm like, it's funny how those things work though. So while Lilith is my matron, do I work with Lilith every day? No, I'm not doing rituals and stuff, but she comes when she comes and she goes when she goes, and she's here. Sometimes if I have a particular reason that I need to, go into ascension and work with her on the astral or do a spell or ritual. God, I haven't done any spells or rituals with Lilith in a really long time. I didn't even think about that. Well, I've also been doing like the Goetia path working, so a lot of my stuff has been geared towards that lately. But that's kind of what I wanted to talk about here, is just kind of give you a little introductory, as at least for me, how channeling works from the spirit realm. I think it's something that happens when you become more spiritually open. I know for me, when I went through my Reiki attunements, it blasted that door wide open, like unexpectedly open, because I was really, when I first started working with Lilith and Lucifer, like I was doing about 90% of that in the astral. And they kind of, it was at that point in like 2021 where they were like, yeah, they just kind of blocked me from the astral for a while so I could learn how to channel and communicate and learn the divination and learn how to see all this stuff as I became more open. So it's sort of like, imagine kind of like an opening, like coming out of your chakras like this, where that information kind of comes down and through you. And it speaks to me in a voice that's not my own. And it's not like I've lost my entire grip on reality. I'm having a dissociative episode, because that's entirely different. And you know what? I wouldn't be able to sit down at a computer and type. I would be gone. and it would not be good. So that's for me how I can tell what is, you know, what's reality and what isn't. Or when I'm receiving a message that it's not just me either making up bullshit or, you know, I've got multiple personality disorder and it was never diagnosed, even though I've been in and out of therapy for 30 years and numerous doctors and psychologists and all that. I think one of them would have noticed at some point in time that I had, dissociative identity disorder. They've been wrong about a lot of things, but I think they would have noticed that one. So, because I know that's always one of the things people comment. Well, are you sure you're not just fucking crazy? I'm like, I mean, we all a little bad sometimes here, but I can tell what's real and what's not. And sometimes those lines do blur. I was just sitting on the sofa earlier. I didn't have my glasses on, but behind me, it was something with the angle and the light that I was looking, like something in here. There was like this face that came through, and I was like, that's weird. And I was like, I wonder if I could get a picture of this to try to figure out what was going on. I don't know, but it's anyways. So I hope this helps you understand a little bit more about when you see people having channeled messages. I will put one caveat in here. This is when you see these scammy people on websites. Oh, I see your energy is so great. I have a channeled message for you, and the spirits want me to tell you. Drop me a private message and blah 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 and stuff like that. Yeah, that's some bullshit. That's people trying to scam you. And if I can't believe people fall for this, but there's a sucker born every day. So, anyways, I don't get channeled messages usually for people who I do not know. If someone hires me to channel stuff for them, that's different. I've connected with that person in a different way. So, or if it's a friend or family member or something like that, that something comes through pertaining to them, it's because I'm connected to them. I'm not in general going to get message for complete strangers. So, that being said, I hope this helps you understand this a little more and giving you some perspective to ponder. And drop a comment below. Let me know what you think and what your experiences are like channeling. And yeah, so thank you for watching. Don't forget to click like and subscribe, smash the notification bell, follow us on social media, sign up for our e-newsletter. If you really love us and want to support us, hit the join button below. We have many support tiers from like 99 cents a month up to like $10 a month. We really would love the support so we can keep developing and bringing you more and more content every year. So anyways, love you all.